Hello, good evening, and happy, what day is it? Sunday to you, right? Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Happy Sunday to you. This is Summoners Weekly. Welcome back. I'm JD, your host,
I'm Caleb, your co-host.
and we got a fun podcast today. I think we have a fun one. A lot of things to talk about, but first, we want to say welcome back and thank you for sticking with us. Man, first off, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. It's cold out there.
Dude, it is cold. It is cold. We're from San Antonio, Texas, and the weather fluctuates from it was like 80 degrees this past week, and now it's like 40s.
I was gonna say it was like 90s. I was wearing shorts. I was out hiking on a rock.
Yeah.
And then now I'm bundled up and cold as hell.
Yep. I feel like, yeah, if you live in Texas, you can relate. I feel like Florida's similar, except
Yes.
they're like humid and they've got like crocodiles or alligators and shit.
The one thing about Texas, it's really dry. So it's like that. It's like the dry heat and the wet cold.
I hate it when it's like 105, 110 degrees, because then I'm like, everywhere you go, you're just like, you're just baking alive. But we're here to talk about Riftbound, and this week in Riftbound, and just to kind of segue us into our first segment, man, you've probably seen if you've been watching the channel, but we did a video and we saw the first ever set of metal graded Prize Wall Houston cards. I know you have a special connection to these cards. Let's just share with me, first off, what do you think about the Prize Wall cards? Because we've talked about your perspective. And this is the first time you've been on since then. So tell me.
The prize wall cards. As somebody that went to Houston, it was probably the biggest thing that I missed out on. Out of everything they had there, I feel like I did pretty much mostly all there was to do. I grinded out games. I competed in some of the major side events. Early access to products. Really getting to talk and meet the rest of the Riftbound community as a whole. Get other people's perspectives. I get to meet a lot of cool people. I know one guy said he was like from Oregon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But back to those prize cards. It was something I missed out on. The first day I was there, I helped JD get a few of his metal cards because we were grinding them out, and I know they had left, and I was like, I have some family there, so I left to go hang out with them for the day. And then that second day, I had the tickets. JD helped me out. He's like, here, I got you your tickets now. Let's go get you that metal card.
The Ari.
That Ari, man, it's the one I wanted.
Yeah.
According to everybody else, they wanted it too.
Yeah, well, she's going for 4,500 raw on eBay. Raw on eBay.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy to think about, because I remember when I went up to the booth, and it was honestly, we were pretty quick with it because there was a delay. I think their internet had gone down.
There was I was gonna say, when we first went up, there was like 4 cards left.
Dude, we waited for like almost an hour to get seated. But anyways, we're not here to talk about the feedback for the event. We're here to talk about the metal cards. With that said, the first one I got was what was the first one I got? It was MF. Because I got MF, and then I got Yi. No, I got Yi, and then I got MF. And then my brother-in-law got MF. We got the tickets for you. And I think that's when you were like, hey, we'll just get it tomorrow. Or they had run out by then.
They had run out of Aris by then. There was still a ton of metal cards at this point. And
But you wanted specifically
I specifically wanted Ari. I didn't think that the craze for these cards would have skyrocketed it the way it did that last day. I was not ready for them to sell for $2,000 online the same night. So, there was a lot of key factors that went into it that I wish, had I known going into that and had that mindset of, people aren't going to want to spend crazy amounts of money on these cards that should be for everybody, and really cool.
Cool, like at event only kind of thing.
At event only kind of thing.
Yeah.
To, oh man, I missed my chance.
Would you have, in hindsight, would you have picked a different metal card knowing this now?
Absolutely.
What would you have gone with?
Absolutely.
Timo?
I mean, probably not Timo. I think the next one I would have gone with is, as a Arcane fan, I would have went with Victor.
The Victor one's cool.
Jinx.
The Victor and the Jinx. Because when I went up, they had, Ari was out, but they had everything else. They said we have 1 or 2 Kaisas left, but I don't play Kaisa. And I've been meaning to transition to playing Yi, but I still play MF, right? But that's why I got Yi and MF. Those are my picks. My brother-in-law got MF because he likes MF. And so you would have gone with Victor.
Yeah. I honestly would have went with Garen before I went with Kaisa.
You know what's wild is when we were waiting in line for day two, because we were next to each other in line. Homie behind me, I forgot what his name was, but he said he had scored the Metal Garen card, and I remember he looked at me and he was like, I was like, "Oh, dude, you have Garen? Can I see it?" So he showed it to me and he was like, "Yeah, man, someone's gonna buy it for me for $300." I flat out told him, I said, "You can get more for that." He was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like doubting me about it. He was like, "Oh, I don't know. Like this guy's, he's walking up." I said, "No, you could get like, honestly, probably like $1,000 for that card." And he was like, "There's no way. There's no way." He showed it to me. And then as I'm looking at it, I give it back to him. And I guess in the fray of what's going on, he forgot where he had put it. And he was like, "Bro, you took my card." And I was like, "I promise you, I did not take your card."
I remember that because I mean, like you said, I was right there next to you. And he was like, "Oh, here it is. It's in my backpack."
Yeah, he
Sorry.
found it. And you know what happened? In the delay of him thinking that I took his
It
card,
shot up to $600.
the guy, I told him, I was like, "Ask the guy if he'll do 650." And he doubled his money from 300 to 600 just by waiting and me telling him that.
And he still could have got more.
I still think he could have got more. I think the last Garen on eBay sold for like 8 to 1100, right?
Yeah.
Like raw, right?
I think even in the moment of, he probably could get $1,000 easy.
No, for sure. I think all the craze was the first couple that were listed on eBay went for so much that it set the precedent. And day two was insane. It was literally, they were telling people don't run, but they were like speed jogging.
I was there. I was outside the building before the building opened at 5:30 a.m. I remember it. I parked my car at 5:20, like 5:25. I walked to the thing, expecting to be the first person there. There was a line, y'all. There was a line of about 20 people ahead of me.
We were there, and I think there was less than 200 people there when we were there, when we showed up.
Oh, when you showed up, yeah. And here's the thing too that's even crazier, man. And again, this isn't a talk about the event. It's just it coincides with the metal cards. Had there been little to no confusion, I think I got my card. I think I got the metal already that day.
Really?
I genuinely think so. I was standing in the premium line because they're like, "Oh, it's all one line today." I was like, "Okay."
Bet.
I could have been because everybody else that was there with me when I first got there were all premium spectators or premium competitors. I could have been the only spectator in line, and I missed out on it.
It's just wild that the craze has gone to this level. And as a follow-up, earlier this week, we shot a video with a friend of the channel. Tectone was on unboxing the first ever full set of the metal cards.
I sent them in.
Oh, okay. You're the person we need to talk to. I heard you dropped the Jinx.
I can neither confirm nor deny whether that's true or not. There may have been an incident that I saw from as a third perspective party where the gentleman boxing up the PSAs, he was kind of in a tizzle. He was running another tournament, and he dropped the Jinx flat on the floor. And he picks it up. He looks at it. It looks good. It's still in the promotional wrapping. And then he looks at John. and John looks at him and he goes, "I'm going to murder you if that's anything but a 10. I was like, "You know what? If it's anything but a 10, I'll give you $100.
Oh my goodness.
And then I told him, I was like, "If it's the only card that comes back at 10, you can thank me."
Well, what's funny is he mentioned this on the previous podcast. He was he literally told that story. I was like, that bastard Caleb is so lucky this came back at 10 because now he can't say anything. And I'm also pretty sure we looked at the population count on that Jinx.
It's the only one.
No, there's two.
There's two.
There's one other one. There's one other PSA 10 Jinx. And to continue, right? So we opened up all 16 PSA graded metal cards. Honestly, he got an insane amount of 10s. I think we may have misquoted it.
Y'all said 11 out of 16. I know for a fact, because I was looking at it, it's 10 out of 16.
10 out of 16. So there's only 10. And if you're interested in buying these metal cards,
you can find them on eBay for the proper price of $200,000.
Which, mind you, the eBay fee on that is probably insane and unreasonable. But, I'm sure if someone were to offer offer him like 100 to 150K, that'd be a deal.
There's no reason not to take that.
Well, the question is, and I guess we'll find out leading into Vegas and Bologna, right? Is like, how are they going to address, or how are they going to approach the prize wall situation as someone who is directly impacted? Which, mind you, you didn't get your card. I felt so bad, man, because I was like, we literally had fought to get you that card, and thank God you opened your booster box. And
Dude, if that didn't happen,
and you were blessed. You don't know what that grade is, right?
I have not looked yet.
So if you've watched our unboxing video, Caleb was the one who did that, and you submitted that card, right?
It is in the hands of PSA right now, and I'm gonna use it for an unboxing video here on the channel. I promise, even though I'm the one that's gonna know when it comes in, I promise I will try my hardest not to
Look at the grade.
figure out what it is.
My bet's is a 10.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have sent it otherwise if I didn't think it was gonna be.
It looked good when we saw it, and when you look at the video of it, it's like, oh, it's like the back, the centering is good. It's got clean cuts. I think it'll be a 10, man. And you know what's insane about the 10? I think I last checked, it was close to like $3 to $4 grand, right, for the 10. The collectibility of Riftbound is just so insane. But real quick, so back to the metal card conversation. For the full set of 16, $200,000. You've probably seen the post on Reddit, on the community server, and on eBay if you've looked. But I know the PSA official eBay had a 9 Kaisa for a $5,000 start. It may have sold.
Honestly, I mean, that's PSA 9, which I know John got.
For Kaisa.
Man, if that was a 10, that easily approaches, I think, like 8K.
Dude, homie spent $5 grand grading all 10.
I know, I'm the one that made him tap his card to the machine.
That's insane, bro. So what do you think? How do you think they'll approach the metal card situation for Bologna and Vegas? Given it, I don't think the momentum on them has died. I think they're still. Also, homie Ryan, 1 of 1. Lux sold for 15K. Not only sold for 15K, sold for 15K plus an undisclosed amount of Pokemon. And check this out: the Kaisa and the Garen metal 1 of 1s are on eBay right now. I believe the best of Garen is at 15 grand alone. So you got to think, if 15 grand is the start, how does that look like for Ari or for the Kaisa?
I think both of them approach. They're 15 grand, you said, starting?
Starting.
50. I think 50 grand is not the minimum, but the
high end.
Not even the high end. I think that's middle ground.
Really?
For 1 of 1s. You got to think about it like this. They're 1 of 1 at the moment. There's going to be multiple competitions where these cards are standard legal, where there's going to become more prize, because they said they're doing pricing like this for all of their tournaments. So as there's more tournaments, as the game goes on, there will be a higher population of them. I don't think that'll nuke the prices on them, but I do think it'll drop it way more than what it's at.
Bro, even if in the next 2 years there is, let's say, 10 sanctioned Riftbound events, that means there's still a pop count of less than 10 for the 1 of 1s.
There's Magic cards, and I'm always going to reference Magic because that was the TCG I was born on.
Sure.
170, or there's a 1 out of 77 card that goes for.
Is the Chocobo?
Yeah, the Chocobo. Goes for like 100 grand a pop for each one because it's under triple digits.
You know, that is interesting because that's the Final Fantasy IP, right?
Yeah.
And
this is League. I would say,
bro, like,
they
honestly,
are both very big IPs.
I would say arguably League is probably more popular.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like with like accessibility, popularity, games that are options.
I was going to say, I think more people know about the League of Legends IP than the Final Fantasy IP. I think you're going to find the same amount of people that, you know, maybe not have played one or the other, but will still know about it.
Dude, I'm honestly surprised. Actually, that's a really good comparison is the Chocobos. You know, because they're serialized. These aren't serialized, but they're kind of like pseudo-serialized. You know what I mean?
You got to think about it like this. Technically, they're not serialized because, well, I mean, you could even say they are because you know how many printings of them that there are. And that's what the whole serialized debacle is for Magic. You know how many cards are out there. There's only this many. only this many have been open. That's why it's so crazy. It's so huge.
Yeah, and yeah, I want to just take a second. Like for Bologna and Vegas, I think the way that they'll approach them is I think they're going to have way more. I think they'll have enough to go around. I think they'll have so many because between Houston and Bologna, right? You got to think the whole idea of the prize wall is for people who aren't competing, who want to leave with something special. That's an event only thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, we have the statues, we had cards, play mats, the prize wall cards were 10 tickets each, right? Or yeah, they were 10,
Yeah.
right? So you got 9 tickets per on-demand event. So you had to play another one to get the 10th ticket. That's 10, 20, 30, 40. That was at least $15, $12 per event, right?
Yeah.
So the cost of a metal card roughly should be around 50 to 60 bucks, I guess, for the cost of the tickets, right?
Yeah.
But with that said, I think one of the things that's like a really interesting perspective is like if they approach Bologna in Vegas and say, you know what, we have 1,000 of each. What happens then?
You better hope you sold all your metal cards before that happened. If you're the ones trying to sell them, I personally am more of a collector, so 1,000 sounds great to me. I'll take one of each, please.
I could see because I think like a lot of people wanted them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think me and you had talked about it while we were still there in Houston. I don't think I wanted the card, even if I got Ari. It wasn't to sell. It was always going to be something I kept as a memento to keep in my room.
For Houston.
That's why with the Ari that we sent out, the signed one, as much as I'd like the money from it, part of me wants to. That was the first ever event that I've ever been to for a TCG.
Signature.
It's my first. It's my first over $100 card in any TCG. Or well, no, sorry. It's my first over $500 card in any TCG.
I'm so glad you got that.
I got it from a box that I got from you, but technically from the event.
No, from the event.
Yeah,
because we bought those that morning.
Yeah.
We went to it was the second day. Well, I don't know if that was. I had all those boxes just in a big box.
That's what, dude. I was telling my friend on the car ride home after I had pulled it. I was like, dude, there's so many universes where that didn't happen. You know how many times those 2 boxes got shuffled around?
Oh yeah.
And then I know you had given me 2 boxes, one to split with somebody else, or what? Justin, shout out.
Our homie Justin.
And
because you guys were homies for the whole event. I asked you to be on video. I asked you to hold shit every once in a while. Justin's parents were amazing. They literally sat down and were like, "You can leave anything you want." And I was like, "Oh, thank goodness, my tripod and all that."
Early, you didn't have to wake up too early to get a spot in line,
dude.
Because let's be real, if you had to be there at 5 in the morning,
bro, I was there still pretty early.
You came up
like
when
6:30,
6:30, yeah,
something like that. I wouldn't be upset if you sold it. But I think that's the beautiful part about the game and like getting cards like that.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part is it's Ari, the one that you wanted. Like, you know what I mean?
There's something almost, what's the word I'm looking for?
Poetic, maybe?
Poetic, coincidental.
Fate,
that
bro.
That
It's
was
fate.
that was the one I got.
And that box was atrocious, bro. When you were opening that box, I was depressed.
I got a green rune, I think, from it, and
You got a mind rune.
a mind rune and a
Thousand
thousand
tail.
tail. I was like, oh,
You got one more
In
thing in blue, I thought.
maybe it was maybe a mundo. It was something.
Bro, it was a scuffed box.
But I was like, you know what? I can live with this. I got something decent. I just remember filming the video. I was trying to talk for every single pack because I was so excited to film it for the first time, like be on camera and do stuff. And I just remember getting the box and opening and talking and opening and talking and opening and talking. After like pack 12, there was so much nothing where I was like, ooh, it's getting hard. It's like it's getting harder to talk about, guys. Like they've seen me pull this same 4 cards and the same 2 terrible rares in a row.
And then
out of nowhere.
You know what? I've watched that video over and over. You got the sabotage. You got the promising future. The promising future is honestly the coolest part of that because it's like promising future.
Ari. It was the
Signed
card
art.
right behind it.
It was right behind it.
And here's the craziest thing to me about that too.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been the last pack. I just remember briefly holding out all 3 of the final packs in front of me,
Beep, the middle.
and going, you know what? We're going with the middle one.
I mean, I think that's just the beautiful part about like collectible card games is like the pack opening experience is so fun. And actually, this transitions us to our next topic, Caleb. Wave 2. Wave 2. Why are you smiling like that? I feel like, so just so y'all know, we won't explicitly say the name for just, whatever. But you work at a card shop.
Yeah, I do work at an LGS.
Yeah, he's the TO at that LGS.
Yeah, TO, social media, I do it all.
So you run like what, Lorcana, MTG?
Lorcana, Magic. I don't do Pokemon, but I do help out with our Pokemon TO whenever he needs me to do something.
That's the other guy, right?
Yep.
I've seen him, yeah.
We're starting One Piece,
Nice.
which is a really great game. Riftbound, obviously. And, there is a ton of different card games that we run there. Riftbound and Magic being my favorite.
Yeah, those are the ones I connect with the most. But One Piece, don't knock One Piece, bro. One Piece
dude,
has
what's
momentum
called?
of its own.
One Piece is crazy game in of itself, and it's really similar to Riftbound. A lot of One Piece players that I've talked to have tried Riftbound and said they enjoy it, and vice versa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like Riftbound takes the best elements of almost all the TCGs and combines them into like not only a flavorful IP but fun mechanics. But so you're a TO, you work at an LGS. Wave 2. I know if you're watching this around the US at least, Wave 2 is hitting stores. Stores are getting product, or they have been sitting on the product they've gotten. And I know a lot of stores, hopefully, you're finding product at retail, if not slightly above retail. You know what I mean? Hopefully not like anything super crazy, because
Not
boxes.
scalper prices.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Boxes are still really high.
I was gonna say on TCG Player, are they not like 300 something right now?
We can double check. Yeah, go ahead and double check. But I think they're still in the high twos, 250. And I wanted to briefly talk about the market here in a minute. But Wave 2, not only is product coming in, but I think, at least where you work, you got allocation numbers for set 2.
Yes, so we know actually how much we are getting. A lot of stores in San Antonio have already received their product
For set 2?
for Wave 2.
I'm talking set 2.
Oh, set 2.
Spiritforged.
Sorry. Got carried away there. For set 2, nobody's gotten their product yet. I think that's really going to hit last week of January, first week of February.
Yeah.
Because it's when most pre-riffs are going to be at.
Yeah. When is the pre-rift again?
The 7th.
February?
Yeah.
Because release date is the 14th.
Yes.
Dang. Quick.
Go get your product. I'm telling you right now. Go out. Go to your LGSs, y'all. Go ask, hey, look for the nearest pre-release store to you and go. Do not miss out on this wave drop. I will say it is. I don't know if we got better allocation because we were a pretty decent store when it came to running events in San Antonio. We had people show up for a lot of our events, and we had a decent amount of people show up for every single one. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's because there's just more product available. I think it's probably a good combination of both.
I don't think any of it's reprinted. I think it's just they printed a bunch. They had a second wave they had already printed, and they're just allocating it. You know what I mean?
Into the first wave.
And
I think that's also the case. That's why I'm saying definitely probably a bit of both.
I think with Spiritforged specifically, I think products is going to be really hard to find. I think still. So like the pre-rift events are going to be a great way to get access to like at least an introductory set of cards. And then probably that night, most LGSs, I know where I played, because we went to another local store and they sold 10 packs with your, were you there?
Can't say that I remember now.
No, well, where I went to the release event, if you played, you bought a starter deck, you played with the starter deck, and then they didn't have enough product to do sell full boxes, but they did sell, if you participated, 10 packs per person, right? So I bought mine, and then everyone in my group bought 10, right?
So for limitations, I think if you're an LGS, I think depending on your allocation, you're going to limit it differently. But I don't see any LGSs just saying, especially that first week, even after release,
Boxes.
them saying take as many boxes as you want. I don't see that. At our store specifically, we didn't get a lot of allocation for Origins the first time around, but we didn't limit it. And the boxes were gone day 0.
They pre-ordered?
Pre-orders.
What did you guys sell them at? Do you remember?
I think it was slightly above.
Because nobody knew.
It was like 140.
Nobody
150.
knew how popular Riftbound was going to be.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? And so that's why I think Spiritforged, like if you're like, hey, you know what, I want to make sure I get the product that I want, or at least to be able to get stuff to trade for the product I want. Go to your pre-Rift event, participate, get to know your local game store, get to know who runs it, become friends with them, right? Like, I'm not saying like be buddy buddy to get product, but like it doesn't hurt.
Wink, wink. No, okay.
It doesn't hurt. I mean, I will say this, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, they're all cards. I'm a big advocate of buying singles because at the end of the day, you'll spend less buying singles than you will finding the product. But come on, who doesn't like?
As much as that's true, I mean, like you just said, who doesn't like ripping open a box? Because, I mean, let's be for real. Are you going to go out of your way to buy an $1,800 single? You're really only going to get that out of a pack.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And that's just like the magic of when that happens is just, there's a story to it, right? So, I mean, yeah.
It's going to be, when you open a pack and even if it's an overnumbered, everybody I've talked to remembers exactly when they got what overnumbered.
That is just a testament to how cool the overnumbered cards are.
Dude, they're beautiful.
They're all
the arts
so
are
cool.
So gorgeous.
I mean, like, I remember when we opened the ON Misfortune, I was like, this is beautiful. This looks like a $500 card.
And I know you've said that story on that channel, but still like I said, each one of those cards, each one of those pulls, dude, like you said, it has a story.
Yeah, no, for real. And you know, I talked to Nick, one of the devs at Houston, and he was part of the team that created the overnumber cards. And he said the reason, so there's so many small things in Riftbound that as players and collectors, we may not initially think about. But one of the things he told me that really stuck out to me was he was like, hey, there's a reason why your legend doesn't get shuffled. And there's a reason we made them overnumbers. Because for people that get them graded, for the fancy versions, you want them always out. You know what I mean? So even if you did get them graded, you could still play with a slabbed card. You know what I mean?
And you know what? It's funny that you say that now as we're getting into the second set. Most of the overnumbered, like non-leader cards in the set are champions.
No, they all are.
Well, there's the seals. There's a few cards.
Oh, that is true. The ON seals, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Cause set 2. You're right. No, absolutely. Yeah.
But they're all champion cards, so that means you're obviously picking your fancy Ari or your fancy set as your chosen champ. There's no reason not to.
Man, it's just so fun. Like, I remember he was sharing. Nick was like, you know, we designed these because we want people to play with them. Like, we don't want you to like not play with them, because in most card games you slab the card and it stays on display and it never gets played. Maybe you'll take it to like a competition night or something.
So it's funny you say that. I think if I did keep the card, I think I'll play maybe a few games with the Ari deck, with the slabbed card.
Jeez.
I would have to do it in a very safe environment. I don't think I'd feel comfortable
walking around with a $4,000 card, just being like clunk. I mean, homie Ryan was walking around LGS's with his Lux while he had it. I was like, that is a brave man.
Yeah.
That is a brave man. I thought about robbing Tectone. I was like, this is my moment.
You think I had the boxes in my hand?
We lost them. Wink, wink. Where did that other set come from? You know what I mean?
I don't know where your cards went. We'll contact FedEx about your insurance.
Oh my goodness, I would be so devastated, man.
Oh, for sure.
It happens with I collect, so outside of Riftbound I collect comic books, and one of the biggest it's like gut wrenching like things that can happen is when you submit a card and then it comes back like a way lower grade, or I've seen like in some instances like comics will get damaged at the grading facility and they'll come back and they'll be like, where the heck did this come from? Man, that is so like disheartening.
No, and it's actually a funny story with the Ari. I originally packaged it through USPS.
We love the United
I
States Postal Service.
didn't insure it.
You redid it, right?
And I had went home and I was going home. I was doing something and then I went home and I'd called back to the store because I knew one of my coworkers was still there. And I was like, hey, can you go to the box and reprint the label under FedEx and insure it?
What did you insure it for? 5?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Because I insured it for the value that it would be, the value that it was, so like $2,000.
Okay. Jeez, still though.
But I'd walked back in the next day, and the box was gone.
No.
And I was like, well, and I asked, I was like, hey, has USPS came by today? Because FedEx had it. They're like, oh yeah, they already came. I was like, no way, it got shipped without me
Insuring
switching
it?
it.
Oh, it did it though, right?
It didn't. It was underneath his chair. He hadn't done it yet. And so I grabbed it. And
Was it Lucas or Blake?
It was Blake.
Oh, Blake, we love that Blake.
we love Blake.
Shout out Blake. He's gonna see this and be like, "Oh, that's me."
That's me. And I went back. I repackaged it. I put it in under FedEx. And I mean, I'm gonna have to pay for it, but like for the reprinting of the label, but.
Not an issue.
Oh my God! Let me tell you, I felt so much relief when I went back and shipped it out, and I was like, "It's insured. I can feel happy about that."
Yeah, and it's so fun, man. I mean, I think Riftbound is designed in such a way that both like with collectability in mind, with playability in mind. There's just something for everyone in the TCG space to really fall in love with it, I feel like. So that's why I think Riftbound has an amazing year ahead. I think 2026 will be the year of Riftbound.
Oh my God, we have 3 sets this year?
4, I thought. We have Spiritforged next month. We have Unleashed in May. Vendetta.
And then Radiance, right?
Radiance. So that's 4 more.
Oh my god.
This year, I think it's at least 4. Hey, that's not even saying if they do something special. Like if they're like, hey, we're gonna throw in a special Star Guardian themed alternate like costume, like special edition set, or like I know I keep saying Star Guardian, but I think I showed you the Project skins.
The Project League skins.
Yeah,
You said they were
the futuristic looking ones.
I don't know, dude. When Vegas happens, I am hoping for those arcane
Collector
cards.
boxes. So okay,
Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of drops, the Chinese New Year's Aurelia box.
Dude, the Aurelia box is freaking awesome.
And this is where it comes into play, talking about like you said, the developers. It's going to be a piece that you don't have to shuffle into your deck. Yep. And it's even better that I know they're not making an English variant of it, but it's a legal card to use in your English decks.
Oh, I think they said they were addressing that like different region and language cards will be usable in the same deck soon, which makes sense. And I think especially for a legend, that's like excusable, right? Because like again, it's always on the board, and like you're constantly referring to it, right? And like we all know what the Aurelia legend is going to do with Spiritforged, so it's not like. I think they'll have to worry about it when there's multiple Aurelias in the same color, but that won't be for a long time, I feel.
Yeah, and especially with like the different language things. I mean, not a lot of games where they mix and match, but I mean, the end all be all Magic. Magic doesn't say that you can't have different language cards.
Lands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, I will say I remember you messaged me. You were like, dude, I'm going to get this. This looks sick.
I want to say I have the date remembered. I think it's February 17th.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like right after Spiritforged releases.
Is it? I thought
it's the same. It's the same week.
Wait.
It's the same week.
What day is it?
The
pre-orders go on live tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 13th, right?
No. Tomorrow's the 12th.
I think the 13th they go on pre-order. There's a pre-order on the Riot site.
For the
yes, for the Chinese New Year one.
I'll have to double check. I saw on Twitter.
Check it out. I thought I read online that there was going to be a pre-order this month for it, and that honestly, I do expect that they'll probably have some in Vegas, but I do think that the idea was that January 13th was the pre-order for them on the Riot page. So honestly, dude, I think you may want to be vigilant, at least on that, because I'm pretty sure I read an article about that. And just to say, also look at the Worlds bundle, right? The Worlds bundle Timo, that's a legend, right?
Yeah.
Wait, the pre-order, right?
The pre-order January storm. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's the official.
It will be priced at $40,
No.
and it'll be go live February 17th.
Okay, that's go live.
Yes, it doesn't have a pre-order date on here.
Dang.
It does say that there is no English version. Spiritforged, English release. So Spiritforged pre-release pre-orders is January 13th at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Pacific time.
So, that's what it is.
Yes.
Oh man, we definitely need to talk about that. Sorry.
Do y'all think the site crashes again?
We obviously love and consume Riftbound, but there's so much news that comes out along with like meta stuff, release stuff, and we are really gearing into Spiritforged season, right? I mean, the meta's in full swing in China. So if you are watching this, I mean, I'm going to aim to put this out on pre-order day. Oh yeah. So if you are watching this, you know what? I'm going to cut this part out and I'm going to put it at the beginning. If you're watching this, pre-orders go live. When does it say?
It says 9 a.m. January 13th.
Okay.
Pacific.
I'm going to have this video come out at 8 a.m. Central. Is it Pacific?
Pacific.
Okay. So that means,
It's 2 hours, right?
2 hours for us. So it would be 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10. So I'm going to put this out at 8. I'm going to literally cut this part out and be like, hey, if you're watching this before you continue the rest of the video or while you're watching the video, go to the Riot site, pre-order Spiritforged before you miss out. If you're one of those people who has not seen the article, they've limited it to one box per Riot ID. Lock in your box. It's like 2 or 3 champion decks per. Get your stuff and then share your W's down in the chat. I'm going to be there. I'm going to get my box.
There's no reason not to get a box at MSRP, guys. Go. Dude, what are you doing? Go buy it right now.
Go right now. And then come back and listen while you celebrate the W of your box. But man, I totally forgot releases around the corner. This video will come out on release day.
And now that you're back, congratulations on your box at MSRP.
If you've managed to score your box, congratulations. I hope we get to. I think you alluded to, do you think the Riot site's going to crash?
It's definitely going to crash.
Well, you know what? I was there when the Worlds bundle dropped, and it didn't crash. But I will say it sold out in less than 5 minutes.
Well, I guess it's different from their new event locator versus a site they've had built for a few years now.
Yeah.
So
hopefully
it does not crash.
That event locator, man, I love that thing. Sometimes makes me really sad to be a Riftbound player. Man, if you've scored, share it down below. Man, there's so much fun stuff. I feel like every time I run a pod, it's just like boom, one thing.
I was gonna say, I think we talked about this. It's like we're not struggling to think of stuff to talk about because there's always something new going on with Rip. There's always something.
There's literally always something going on. And I think going into one of the things we forgot to talk about, metal card related. I know we're all over scatterbrained. Spiritforged metal cards. Which one? If you could be like, I'm going to go to the prize wall, I'm going to get a Spiritforged metal card, which one is it?
Even though I don't think I'm going to play her, Rek'Sai.
And Rek'Sai.
It's just a badass creature.
I love Rek'Sai. I remember when Rek'Sai was like really broken in League 2. Like everyone was playing her. I think I'm probably going to go with Ezreal. I love my boy Ezreal. He's so fun.
I was gonna say I saw your little description in it was the last pod.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. By the way, with those descriptions, I literally just write and then I just like, I don't, and then I throw it up.
I am so ready for Spiritforged. I'm not ready for this Draven swing. I think people are hyping it up. I think it's gonna be nothing. I think it's gonna be a doozy.
Do you think Draven's a nothing burger?
I think Draven is something. I think Draven is going to be really solid. I don't think Draven is going to be the end-all be-all. I said the same thing with Kai'Sa and Yi when Houston started. I was like, I think they're great cards. I don't think
they're the best.
The best cards.
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing too. Is like, hey, look, if Draven is setting the foundation for the new meta, how does the meta evolve around that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, I personally think Ezreal and Rek'Sai are like hidden gems of the next
They're
set.
really unique.
But they play so differently compared to like just
What we have.
straightforward combat and what we have from Origins, right?
It's going to involve a lot of teching, a lot of interesting strategies. And I heard about it the other day, but a no creature victor deck
Yeah,
in the next set.
we talked about that in one of our pods. No creature victor deck is viable because like against Draven, he's winning combats. That's how he's spiraling out of control because he's winning the combats, right? But if there's nothing to win a combat against,
It's not drawing a crazy amount of cards.
he's not drawing the cards. He slows down. And so I think that's actually a really fun question. And I think as a player, what I want to ask is like the difference between tournament level meta and local meta. Because for everyone who's not going to a qualifier, which is like 95% of the Riftbound community, I want to say, tournament meta is not indicative of like a local meta. Dude, I got cooked by a Leona player. And like not an issue. I don't really care about it. I was a little salty, but I was you remember that?
It was my friend.
It was your
it was my friend using my deck.
Dude, but I mean I was like I had not expected Leona. And because of that, I didn't have tech or experience around it. So I got shredded.
And so that's one thing I mean, as an person that works as an LGS, getting to see these different things, I want to challenge the viewers. I mean, go out, make those decks that you don't think are going to work because it's not the meta, and try them and have fun with them. That's the whole point of Nexus Night.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying, go to your Summoner Skirmish and use a troll deck. I mean, you want to try to win those, Do what you think is best for those. But for your Nexus Nights, dude, I just experiment. On my last Nexus Night, I made a Misfortune deck that is play directly to open battlefield. So I'm just pushing stuff off and just playing my stuff. Am I going to change it to Annie? Probably, because it works
A little bit better.
because it adds the red kill spells that I don't have in
The removal.
in orange.
Right.
But the funny thing about doing it with MF is I can play to these open battlefields, and and everybody's just like, oh well, he's just gonna move it there, and then he's gonna move it back, and blah 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 blah. And then I drop Dreadbloom on them, and it's just like, your deck's not supposed to do that. I was like, I know, that's the fun part.
Well, and that's the crazy thing is I feel like there's this complaint of like, hey, I can't build the deck that I need. But in all honesty, why are you building a deck that is tournament meta? Like,
People get upset at my Ari deck because I don't run the same deck list as everybody else. One thing I pride myself on is I know a lot of people, whenever they go to build decks, they look at other people's deck lists. They look at what's winning in these other tournaments. They look at other things. I went purely based off of what I think correlates with each other, what I think, has great synergies. And I've also learned from my fellow players playing the same decks, playing different decks.
and you adjust to the local meta.
Yeah, and I mean, I have not struggled in a competition against most people. The only person I can say consecutively that I have not beat once is John and his Kaisa. And
But he doesn't do that either. He doesn't run a tournament.
He doesn't.
Kaisa. He runs his own version of it.
And that's what I enjoy about losing. I mean, like, I know it's crazy to say I enjoy losing, but it's so interesting because it's weird enough that my deck can compete against regular Kaisa. Like, I've gone 1-2. I've won some games. I don't think I've ever gone 2-0 because it's definitely on the draw or on the play.
Yeah.
When I'm going against Kaisa. But John's deck and the way he plays it is in such a way where there's really nothing I can do. And if I had to say anything, it's because of Falling Star. But
Well, but I don't know John's deck list, but I know he doesn't run a Cathian or some.
he doesn't run a main board. I believe he does not run it.
He may have it sided.
He has, yeah.
But the fun part is like you said, if you're out there struggling to get cards, don't be upset. The cards will end up in your hands, but play what you can because there is still viability in every legend and in every card.
And I'm glad that's something you said. I have a lot of bulk. I've opened so many of these boxes. Whenever somebody comes in, I'm like, hey, if you need cards to, upgrade your deck, let me know. One of my good buddies at the shop, he was the TO before me. He did all the training for me.
Dell.
Dell.
Shout out Dell.
Shout out Dell. He created a Darius deck out of just my bulk.
Bro, he ended up buying my Seal of Unity and my baited hooks from me at one of the other Nexus nights. The Nexus night I pulled the GG Timo, he bought the Unity and the
Baited hook.
and the baited hook for me.
Before he had added baited hook and all that other stuff into his deck, he was winning consecutively.
Because nobody played Darius.
Because nobody played Darius, for one. Nobody was expecting, because all the Darius players at the time were using baited hook, and people were expecting that. They were running some gear hate, to counteract that. His was just like, the best way to describe it was an aggro Victor. It was so aggressive. He was using Falling Stars, Hex Tech Rays, Void Seekers, and then on top of that, he's just building and building and building recruits with the different Legion abilities in yellow, and then the Noxus Hopeful is so much cheaper, so now he's playing that for free too.
Very aggro.
It was just so aggressive, and I mean, to me, a very control-heavy Ari player that's using combat tricks, I couldn't really stop it.
Hard to deal with. Right?
And I was watching him going against Victor, where you would think because it's a more aggressive version, it kills Victor because it's so much slower.
And I think that lends itself to a conversation about deck optimization. So as we see right now, Draven is the boogeyman. He's the Chinese. I mean, I don't want to say the Chinese boogeyman, but in the Chinese meta, a vast majority of the people are playing Draven, and I think because they've found ways to optimize him and make him as consistent as possible. And the thing about like an optimized deck is that it's going to perform relatively consistently.
And that's really what it is when it comes down to TCGs and stuff like that, is how consistent your deck is. Because you could have...
MF Roaring ain't consistent.
I have 3,000 Tells. I mean, I only run 2 of them in my deck now, but... And then there's other games where you can tutor and stuff like that. I mean, you can't really do a lot of that in Riftbound, but it's deck consistency. And if you're not consistently getting your deck in, or the cards you need, then the deck's going to flop.
Yeah. But if you have splashes of stuff that people don't expect, cards like Switcheroo that are, I mean, I do think Switcheroo will be a main card, like a main boarded card in a lot of decks. But like fun cards like that, I think now with Spiritforged, there's so many options to add a lot of different sprinkle of spice into decks. It's going to change the way that I think people approach optimization, tournament optimization, and local meta.
And I think I had a pretty big conversation with somebody about this. I don't think there's any legends in the next set or any legends in the current set that are going to be the meta.
Really?
And I say that on the pretense of...
When you say meta, like, yeah.
I mean, more or less, I don't think one card is going to stand out above the rest.
Not like Kaisa right now.
Yeah,
right?
not like Kaisa right now.
Or
I
Lily.
think they all get better together. Some will get huge upgrades compared to others, but I think that more or less puts them on an even playing field, not so much as make them better than another legend.
So yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Victor, for example, getting more spells, more death knell triggers, more of, I mean, mainly it's death knell. There wasn't a lot in Origins, but there was a good amount that he could use.
The support,
It's going to make him vastly better. Now, do I think he will be better than others? I really can't tell you. I really don't think it will be, though.
Well, I can tell you from the perspective of like MF, like Misfortune Aurora, like everyone is tripping about Dazzling Aurora. Like I think Dazzling Aurora is gonna not only go down in price. I think it's gonna go down in price, but Dazzling Aurora is a game-winning gear. Like literally, it is a game-winning gear. What happens when you introduce more gear into the Misfortune deck? We don't know. Spiritforged is going to show us. And what I think is going to happen is everyone's going to be like, oh, Dazzling Aurora falls off. Dazzling Aurora is not going to be viable in the next set. Why not? Why not? Because Triforce is like, it speeds up Aurora.
If you add more gears, you're right. I mean, yes, there's going to be more gear hate in the next set. That's something to be expected, especially with such a gear-heavy set. And I remember you talking about it when they first revealed all the cards. You expecting Dazzling to go down because, it's a gear, and now that there's more gear hate and more colors, that it's just going to get destroyed every time it gets on the field. But I think right now that's a valid point. There's just going to be more gears overall. What's to say that this other gear he's playing, it may not be dazzling, is going to win him the game? Now you have to use your gear removal on that, and I just baited out your gear removal. Let me dazzling aurora.
Another one, or I make you choose between having to stop my extra point with Triforce or getting a big freaking creature next turn.
If I had to pick between you getting another Dead Bloom or an extra point, I think I'd forfeit.
I think that's the fun part, man, is going to be, I think you're right. Like there's no, I mean, we talked about it also I talked about it with John. There's no legend has been figured out. There's a place and play style for everybody, every legend. And honestly, there's ways to play legends that are different than what other people play. Like I remember we were playing Skirmish this past weekend, and I didn't draw Dazzling Aurora. And you know what I did? Still won using Dead Bloom and Riot the Wind and Mind Splitter. I just Catalyst of Aeons. I had a crap ton of runes, and I was like, we are keeping these dudes alive. And so, like, the combat tricks, all the fun stuff coming out in Spiritforged just elevates Origins to the next level.
I remember watching those games, yeah.
I'm really excited because I think we'll get spoilers come Bologna and Vegas for Unleashed. And that's going to be fun, man.
I'm so excited. I know Vex and Vi are two confirmed champions for
Unleashed.
Okay.
Well, Vex is getting a champion unit in Spiritforged. I thought.
Yeah. He's getting a champion unit, but he's getting a legend unit.
Is Vex a dude?
I'm not too sure.
I thought Vex was a chick. That's a little. Is she a Poro?
I don't play League. I wouldn't know.
I'm not a good reference here. This is bad. But I saw people talking about Vex already, because doesn't Vex reduce the cost of your spells, increase the cost of your opponents?
It does. So when I first read that card, I sent it to my buddy. We play Magic together, and he hates. The term is called pillow fort in Magic. It's where there's stuff prevented. So like, in order to swing me, you have to pay 2 mana, and he hates that stuff.
Isn't there a white card that's like that too?
Yep, Ghostly Prison.
Yes, Ghostly Prison.
And then there's another one where it's like it does it for however many enchantments.
I thought Giver of Runes did something like that too. I'm not sure if I'm thinking the right thing. It's been a long time since I played MTG, but Unleashed. I think we'll get spoilers. I think we'll get spoilers in Bologna. We'll get to see stuff in Vegas, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if, like they did in Houston, there was a Spiritforged like pre-release that they did with like some of the influencers.
The pre-Rift event.
I'm praying Diana comes to us and says, "You guys want to participate?" And we go, "Heck yeah!" And then imagine pulling an overnumber Vex or an overnumber Vi. That would be.
I cannot wait. So here's what I'm quite interested in. Before Houston, we had a few spoilers for Spiritforged, and that weekend it fully dropped in China. It's been about a month now, and we haven't seen anything for the next set. So,
it is Bologna is next, which is just before. I think it's at the end of this month. I'm almost positive, or the beginning of February, because literally the end of last weekend of February is Vegas.
It would make sense for it to be the last week of this month then, yeah? Because it was middle December.
Dude.
For Houston.
Man. And you know what's crazy is actually 3 weeks ago, Unleashed pre-orders went up on Amazon. I don't know if you saw that. I got the Vex deck. I got the Vex deck and I got the Vi deck. I didn't get the booster box, but they went live.
What?
Yeah, this was a while ago. And I remember I posted on the Discord for San Antonio, the Riftbound community. And then like they were gone literally within minutes. I was like waking up in the morning for work, and then I was like, oh, it was someone posted on Reddit. Yeah, the Unleashed stuff is people look.
When is it set to come out?
I thought it was May. I'm almost positive it's May, June.
May.
May, June.
Hey, June's my birthday, dude. I'm buying a whole case.
Dude, man, and that's. I would love to see, because you know what they did in Spiritforged was they don't have any overnumber they have overnumber legends, but they have the signatures or the chosen champions this time. So for Unleashed, signature gears.
I think they just haven't shown us the signed overnumbered yet for the leaders.
For Spiritforged?
Yeah.
Well, what did they be at in China already then?
It's a fair point.
Right? Like, what did they?
Yeah.
That's what I think. Plus, someone would have posted it if someone
Yeah.
opened it. You know what I mean? But it'd be interesting because they did do something different for Spiritforged. So in Unleashed, how could they spice it up? I think maybe like
Signed runes.
signed runes, man.
Signed battlefields.
Sign-
Overnumbered battlefields?
Dude, there's so much they could do with it. There's so much they could do with it. I think signed gear, overnumbered gear, that's an option. Signed runes would be really interesting and a weird take, but like with Unleashed, yeah, I mean they could. We talked about, you and I did a video on wish list for Riftbound, right? I'm excited to see the new products coming out.
I just know that prize wall and that counter that they're going to have at Vegas. Ooh-wee. It's going to have some nice stuff, I hope.
Well, Caleb, thanks again for coming on the pod. Thanks for co-hosting today. And, I just wanted to say, as we move forward here at Summoners, we are dedicated. I am dedicated to providing as good of content as I can to the community. And I want to make sure that anyone who interacts with the channel going forward feels welcome. We create an atmosphere of friendliness, forgiveness, and everybody feels welcome, right? That's my number one goal. You get quality content, you talk about the game you want to talk about, that you love, and we share our experiences. Because that's the only thing that's going to keep this game going, is if we can push the community to be as great as I know it can be. With that said, thank you for tuning in to Summoners Weekly. I hope you've enjoyed hearing us talk about this week's talk about Riftbound and all the news and things that
Riftbound ramble.
Our ramble on Riftbound. As always, throw a comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like. Smash the sub button if you're not already part of the community. We are going to be asking more polls and planning for Vegas and Spiritforged release. So if there's something you want us to cover or to deep dive in, let us know. We've got some stuff planned for Vegas, y'all. I can't wait to share what those plans are. And we hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in to Summoners Weekly. We'll catch you on the next pod. Peace.